Megan Fox has the story.
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox. Megan Fox, a national journalist.
Mastodon. I will never be able to say that out loud.
It feels like the Flintstones live there.
It does.
Well, don't trust women. I think you just touched on that with your last. That's what they brought. We're going to have to bring back chaperones.
Jesus, no.
Just careful. Stop! Break! Ooh. Hard right.
How did you screw up a stove, Megan? You're a woman. I thought that was baked into you. Like at the genetic level, how to operate kitchen equipment.
And honestly, Megan, if you don't like it, I'm sorry. I've been very nice to you.
You get Dino hanging out outside chewing on a large bone. I highly recommend being targeted by the New York Times and Rolling Stone for weight loss. And I'd say, keep it coming. I need to lose 20 more. Please, keep it coming.
Explain to me, Megan, why did this country not have a holiday once a year? That's the time you vote. If you don't show up and vote, up your ass. You don't get another chance. You don't get, I don't care if you're in the hospital. Crawl to the stake, crawl there. But that's it. 1 day, 12 hours, and then you're done. And you count them that day, and that night you know who the hell won.
I will eat you alive. You want to tangle? You want to go?
The only thing going through my head is, what are you going to do when Megan Fox runs wild on you, brother?
He made a deal with the devil. She's the devil.
He wants that.
Oh, God. Gross! Oh! All right. Penalty box for Slug. Yep.
Of a mile.
Are you ready to behave yourself now, Slug?
This frustrating rep.
Are you ready to behave yourself? Repossessed puppies. I'm hiding pork chop. Have you seen his little pork chop? Oh my God, pork chop is the cutest.
That sounds bad.
Have you seen it?
Pork. It's pork.
Though you may be tempted, do not contact any person or persons mentioned on this stream. Do not even think about contacting anyone who may be the topic of the daily news. If you should do that, the host will question your IQ, possibly call you names, and mock you for disobeying these basic rules of decency.
All the best.
All the best. Good morning, everyone. Sorry for the late start. We had a serious problem with Streamlabs. Flex was going to be hosting today, and we could not hear each other. That was a very bad problem. So we are sorry, but it's worked out now. We are simul streaming this. It's on my channel and it's on Flux's channel. And hopefully by next week we can get it figured out, and maybe we can make this work. We'll test it before we try to go live, though.
Yeah, probably should test it a little bit first, maybe.
Mm-hmm. And we have another public service announcement also for those of you out there driving vehicles and out there in the world. If you happen to be stopped by any law enforcement at all, federal, local, state, sheriffs, any law enforcement at all, whether that law enforcement is acting legally or illegally, if these are people with guns, I very much encourage you, if you are ever stopped by police in order to do something, that you do it immediately, that you comply. Whatever it is they're asking you to do, stop the car, get out of the car, put your hands on your head, get on the ground, whatever is happening, no matter how bad it is, no matter how illegal it is, if you think it is, you can fight them in court, but you cannot fight them in court if you die today. So,
yes,
I am encouraging all of you as your internet mother. The same thing I do tell my own children. When a police officer orders you to do something, you do it immediately with a hearty, yes, sir. And you keep your hands where you can see them. Understand?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody understand? I want you to live this year. I want you to live. Nothing is worth taking a bullet from a police officer because you did not follow directions. You may not flee from police officers when they are telling you to stop. You may not get away. You cannot do that. It is illegal. Once they tell you to stop, stay where you are, you must. You are now, consider yourself detained. Do not move.
I mean,
Okay?
and that's something basic that we learn at the age of 5. Follow instructions.
Especially with the
basic.
guys with guns,
So
from the
basic.
guys with guns and
Yeah,
tasers and
Especially
dogs.
when they have,
I mean, we there may be events where police act
well, to
wrongfully,
be fair,
and lots
with
of them
this
are assholes, and they
Darwinism
will.
taking effect, this could
Ugh.
just be, I mean, we
But
kind
also, like, and mothers, when you have children at home, be more careful with yourselves and your choices and what you're doing. Please be careful. Please, please be careful. I'm very sad about what happened for everyone in this situation in Minnesota. But also follow directions and you will live. It's very easy to not get shot by police. It is very easy.
so easy.
It's so easy.
so
It's the
easy.
easiest thing on earth.
So easy to
A
not get
police
shot
officer
by
says, put
police.
your hands up. It's like Simon Says, put your hands up, you put
Right?
them up. Say, get
Right?
on the ground, you get on the ground. You whatever it is, that's how you avoid being shot.
Do the Shia LaBeouf and just do it.
Yes, just do it.
Do it.
Just do it. So that's my public service announcement for today. Please be careful out there. Please follow all in directions, traffic laws, all of those things. Keep yourself safe. Very, very easy not to get pew-pewed by the police. Just do what they say. All right. And if you want to hear more on that, yeah, if you want to hear more on that, you want to hear a legal analysis by a lawyer, Nick Rekieta did an entire show on it last night. It was excellent. It was very, very good. And I highly recommend.
Did you see his short sleeves? Is he even a lawyer with short sleeves?
I didn't notice because I was trying to sleep, so I wasn't looking at the screen.
I love Nick so much, but when I see short sleeves, all I think is white true.
Wait, was he wearing a short sleeve button down? Oh no.
Or it was his sleeves were at least rolled up. And I just sat there and I'm like,
right now. I'm going to tell
truth.
him that Flux says you look like an IT guy.
He does. He's an IT guy with awesome lawyering skills. And all I could think was Dwight Schrute.
Oh my god.
I know of all things to critique it's the short sleeve button up. Come on, man.
Oh, well, he does have an interesting sense of fashion. Let's put it that way. All right, let's see. Is there no live chat replay? Oh, yes. I'm trying to find our link for bingo last week.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. Telling me that the link on the live chat replay does not stay pinned. Is that the case? I was going to grab it.
I've never actually gone back and looked.
There it is. I didn't put it up till later in the stream. That's why. Oh, got it. All right. Now I'm going to have to recreate it. We got to have bingo. All right. Welcome to the retro trial. We are not actually talking about, the news. We are going to be watching day 8 of the Massachusetts v. Woodward, the Killer Nanny trial that Legal Vices, our good friend Jeff, was covering with you guys on Thursdays before he left us last December. So we are now we're listening to this doctor who I don't remember his name. We'll pull him up here in a second. We're listening to a doctor. He's about to be cross-examined by Jeff's absolute favorite attorney. What's his name? Barry Scheck.
Barry Scheck, yes.
Barry Scheck. So I am going to recreate the bingo card and add some things to it, and then I'll pin it up as soon as I get it done. Meanwhile, make sure that you head over to House of Flux. She is streaming this live on her channel too. Give her a like, give her a subscribe, send her some breadsticks. Make sure you like, subscribe here as well. And if you enjoy the channel, if you can afford it, and I don't know who can these days, but if you can afford it, send your Starbucks money, not your ramen money. Please do just to eat, save your ramen for yourself.
I had to go to the grocery store yesterday, and I was just like, "Oh, this is not as fun as it used to be. This
God,
is worse.
it's terrible. It's horrible.
Mhm.
It's absolutely
It's
terrible.
terrible, just horrible."
All right, I'm going to turn on the ads, but only every 30 minutes, okay? If you want the ads to stop, the super chats have to improve. But every 30 minutes isn't going to be so bad. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be
Better
good.
than TV.
It's better than TV. That's right. I have no way to actually know if YouTube is holding up its end of the bargain, but hopefully they are. All right, here we go. We had just got done with this. We didn't come up with a nickname for this guy. We still don't. This is Dr. Joseph Madsen, and he is about to be cross-examined by Barry Scheck. I'm going to go and do the bingo while we listen to this. Oh, I got to turn the captions on.
All right, no problem.
Oh yeah,
But I
they're
need
speaking.
a few minutes to get exhibits
90.
together, so I only bring that to your attention in terms of when you want to break. Good morning, Dr. Madsen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Dr. Madsen, you would agree, would you not, that it is important to know the history of a patient who presents at the hospital with a head injury?
Yes, I would agree with that.
And it's important to know the condition of a child 12 to 24 hours before admission. As part of that
Sometimes,
history.
yes.
And important to know the condition a day or two before admission.
The more history we can get, the better, I would agree.
And in the case of a head injury, it would be important to know if a child had been lethargic during the day prior to admission.
It may be important, yes.
And it would be important to know if the infant had been falling asleep for unusually long periods of time the morning of an incident where the child later came to the hospital in the afternoon.
May be important, yes.
And it's important to know if during that day prior to admission to a hospital in the afternoon, the infant had been difficult to arouse from sleep.
Yes.
And it would be important to know if during the waking states of this infant, the infant had been irritable, cranky, and crying.
Possibly, yes.
And it would be important to know if the infant had been unable to move his bowels for 2 days prior to admission to the hospital.
That's not likely to be important in my history.
Some importance.
If it indicated that he had a viral illness, or something like that, it could play a role in some traumatic injuries, I suppose, yes.
You mean if he didn't have a viral illness?
If he did or he didn't, either one could. You're saying, would it be important to know the history before you take care of the child? And I said it might be important to know, yes, whether he had
Might
those kind of
have
symptoms.
more importance if you knew there wasn't a viral illness and the inability to move bowels might be related to some pressure down onto the brainstem that was slowly evolving.
Inability to move bowels is not a common sign of brainstem problem.
What about an infant having a lost appetite?
He was being splunched.
That would be important, yes.
Okay. So, would you
Squunching.
agree that one reason it is important to know about the hours and morning before admission of an infant, such as in this case, whether that infant had been lethargic, had been unusually sleepy and sleeping for unusually long periods of time, had been difficult to arouse, had experienced in waking states unusual irritation, crankiness, and crying, and a loss of appetite. The reason that those things taken together might be important is that they could be clinical signs of a gradually evolving bleeding in the subdural space, putting pressure on the brainstem. That's something you'd want to know.
Oh my God, my whole
You
bingo
might,
card
if there
just
had
got
been a
erased.
history suggesting that that was the case, you might want to know that, yes.
Okay.
Like all the
Now,
Yeah.
the tiles.
on the
Yeah.
evening of February 4th, when Matthew first came to the hospital, did you speak to Dr. Deborah Epen or Sunil Epen about the condition of the child that morning? You.
I spoke with them probably for the first time that I recall about that actually after the surgery.
But that was still on February 4th.
Yeah, so I did speak with them that night, yes.
And are you aware, excuse me.
I don't know why I did that, but it did. Now I have to type it all in again.
Are you aware
Okay.
of any notes
Yeah, totally.
that were made by Dr. Deborah Epen on February 4th reflecting an interview or a history she took from Louise Woodward about how the baby had behaved and his condition on the morning of February 4th?
Am I aware of notes written by Dr.
Yes.
Epen? I am not aware of notes written by Dr. Epen.
Your Honor, I have copies of these notes that I'd like to. Has anybody shown you, subsequent to this, copies of notes made by Deborah Epen?
No, sir, I've never seen notes by Deborah.
Okay.
You understand that notes means the original or copies?
That's correct. I
Or
have,
transcript.
if we're looking at something handwritten by Deborah Epen, I have never seen.
Have you ever seen transcriptions, that is something typed up that purported to be notes written by Deborah?
No, I have not.
Okay. So, just to get this straight, you performed the surgery on February 4th.
Yes,
True?
yes, true.
You spoke to the parents on the evening of February 4th.
That's correct.
Then on February 5th, you spoke to the police and the district attorneys
Really quick.
about this case.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure I figured out
don't
our
recall
issue
what
with
day I was
Streamyard.
contacted by
Wait, hold on.
the police.
You did?
I'm pretty sure we did. I'm pretty sure I did.
What did we do?
Because I asked Grok and we had the speakers as also our microphones.
Mm-mm. I changed mine to my headphones, which is what it should have been, right?
Yeah, it should be on the right audio.
And I
Mine
still couldn't
wasn't
hear.
changed.
I still couldn't hear though. I should have been able
Okay.
to. Well, wait. No, wait. You're
No,
right.
you wouldn't have been able to hear me, and I wouldn't have been able to hear you because
No,
my
right.
audio
Because
would
yours
have.
was on the wrong one. But I had mine set right, and I know that I could have heard because when that thing played, when you played the
Mhm.
intro, I heard it. So
Yeah,
I was
think
hearing what was on the stream. I think we
I think
fixed
that
it.
was a me thing.
Awesome. Okay, we figured it out.
Well, we'll test it and see
We'll
if we
test it.
truly figured it out later. But I think we might be good. I think that might have been on me.
All right, cool. All right, I've got on the bingo, I'm almost done with it. I've got hair talk squunched, objection sustained, overruled, sidebar, yells in Boston, Dorothy Hamill haircut, shoulder pads, old tech, Flux gets angry, Flux looks horrified, Megan's BP meds stop working, Flux pets cat, shaking baby, 70s porn stash, sound problems, kid raid, coffee break, pee break, Jeff did it, Megan hits wrong button, Bob sighting, which is that weird, creepy demonstrative with the exposed brain. And we need one more. We need one more.
Do we have? I'm trying to think of like
Your face.
we need like a fun nickname, like giving a witness a fun nickname because sometimes we come up
we haven't had any of that yet. That hasn't happened yet. All right. let's
Yeah,
pick
we haven't
nickname.
given anybody. Yeah.
Okay. All right, there we go. And this is called Killer Nanny. Bingo.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, there we go. All right, now I have to hit this button before I can save it. That's what I did wrong. Last time I tried to save it as a favorite without hitting generate. All right, you guys, I've got the bingo link. I'm going to drop it in the chat. I will also put it in the private chat for you, Flux, so you can put it on your side as well. All right.
Beautiful.
And also we have super tips that I need to open up. We have super tips. Get over there and support the show with fun AI voices. Those are a lot of fun. I'm going to have some new voices coming up soon. Gigi.
Oh,
Well, yeah, Shizzy had Yamaha's voice made into one, so I can grab that one. That's fun. Yamaha biker.
oh, nice.
And I think he also did lips. So we have that one. We'll have that one soon. Super tips. Okay,
Ooh.
then we have bingo. All right, I'm throwing it in the chat now. And I will pin it to the top. Please get your bingo cards ready. I would say that we can call off Dorothy Hamill haircut for sure, because Barry Sheck, he's a dead ringer. It's just a dead ringer for the Dorothy Hamill. You got to love that. You got to love that. I mean, he looks exactly like her.
Mm-hmm.
So we got free
What a
space.
great haircut.
Totally. We got free space. We got Dorothy Hamill haircut. Where is my Dorothy? There it is. All right. And squunched. We definitely had squunched. We talked about the squunching. It's amazing how these trials overlap and certain things keep coming up. Baby squunching is very popular, I guess, in the court system.
Well, there was
Sequentially, wasn't it the next day?
That probably is correct. I just don't recall that sequence. You probably
February 4th is the surgery. February 5th is the next day. Fair enough?
correct.
And sometime in the afternoon or evening of February 5th, you spoke to prosecutors and police.
I believe the first contact was from someone from the Newton Police and a detective who met me in my office at some point. That was the first contact I recall having with them. And I don't recall what day it was.
But that next day, right?
It was probably the next day, yes.
And on the next day, you expressed to them the opinion you came in, told this jury just a few minutes ago, did you not?
Yes, I did.
You told them that, in your opinion, Matthew Eapen had suffered from somebody slamming his head down onto a flat surface.
What I told them is I believed it was a non-accidental injury consistent with the shaken infant or shaken impact syndrome.
Did you tell them that there, in your judgment, there was an impact that was the equivalent of a fall from a very high distance, something consistent with a fall from a second or third story?
Well, I think
Did you say something?
I do not recall having said that.
Oh, the judge. Judges hardly ever do this, and I wish they would do it more often. Did you hear that judge was like, nah. He asked you a yes or no question, yes or no.
Yeah.
I love it. I love
How
it.
did they convict this woman?
I don't know. No spoilers.
Of course he does.
Spoiler, no spoiling.
No, well.
Testified in the grand jury in this case, did you not?
Yes, I did.
And in the grand jury,
Let's go to the transcript, shall we? What did you say, sir?
What did you tell the grand jury, sir? The baby was tossed out of a third-floor story house.
Can we just have reference to the February 26th statement of jury?
Sure. Now,
Oh, yeah,
call my
shaken
colleagues'
baby.
attention to,
You did
I
check
guess
that
it's
off.
page 129. Did you tell the grand jury that you think the injury must have been related to a very profound acceleration, deceleration kind of injury, that in order for this to happen, to get this degree of injury in an accident, it might require a high-speed automobile accident or a fall from a very high distance? Right?
Yes, I did say that.
And did you,
Oh, so you did. Wait, you just said you didn't recall it, sir. Wow. Oh, Bob sighting. We got a Bob sighting. You may now check off Bob sighting from your bingo cards. Bob is in the courtroom. If you don't know who Bob is, it's that little mannequin guy there with an exposed brain sitting right next to Dr. Madsen as he's squirming in his chair because he just got caught not recalling a thing he totally said. And the hard swallow. That's
Later
going on the
say,
next bingo
counsel,
card.
page
Hard swallow.
136 of the grand jury.
Or sex scandal face.
Right, we forgot that.
That this history was consistent with the baby, the fall that had been from a second or third story balcony. Remember saying that to the grand jury?
Yes, sir, but I believe the context was somewhat different.
All right.
Tell me about
Question.
the context.
You said that a subdural hematoma could be caused by a very... I'm sorry. Question. By a grand juror. Remember sometimes the grand jurors would ask questions?
Yes, I do recall.
You said that a subdural hematoma could be caused by a very high fall. Do you know how high that would have been? Answer. This isn't a particular area of expertise for me as a forensic matter. If I had seen the baby with the history that a fall had been from a second or third story balcony and we had a bleed hemorrhage like this, I would have felt that quite consistent.
Yes, sir, and I would stand by that statement.
Okay.
I forgot what I was going to put on the card already. What did I say?
Sex scandal face.
No, before that, there was another one.
Oh, was it this?
You're just as bad as me. What happened?
It was very similar to the sex scandal face.
Was it? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Hard swallow. That's it.
Yes.
Hard swallow.
Yes. Yeah, it was related. Same.
Hard swallow. What?
So basically what you told the police the next day was this was the impact here that you believed you saw was the equivalent of the baby falling from a second or third story balcony onto its head.
Well, the police did not ask me that same hypothetical question. Their question was, is this consistent with an accidental or a non-accidental injury? And I said retinal hemorrhages with a subdural hematoma and subarachnoid bleeding is the paradigmatic triad for a non-accidental injury. That's what I told them.
How many gigantic words that the jury doesn't understand can you use in a sentence? Can we back that up for a second? Because, oh my God. Oh no, my little back buttons don't work for this. I can't back up on Core TV very easily, so we won't. But he just used like 5 20-letter words right in a row.
Please.
Well, I'm concerned, doctor, as to what you told them, and I don't know if you're... My question is directed. Forget what I'm concerned about. My question is directed at the substance of what you told the police. Do you understand?
Yes, I do understand.
Okay. And you're not sitting here denying that you told the police that the impact you believe caused the trauma here.
Objection to the form of the question.
Was on the order of a high-speed automobile accident impact or a fall from a second-story balcony. That's what you were communicating to them.
I do not believe that's what I communicated to them.
All right. Was Dr. Matt Switch told the grand jury?
But it was in response to a very specific type of question, I believe.
Also,
there was
question, why?
I missed an objection.
No, you don't deny it.
It was overruled.
Oh, so we got objection and overruled. All right. You only get one shot at that.
I just have a question for gentlemen.
Okay.
Why do y'all keep your hair like that? Where it's like
totally bald on top and just on the sides.
But you have like some hairs like on the top, like a little bit of fuzz.
I feel like I can forgive the side hair, but the top, you should just shave that.
Just get rid of the top hair and just like either fully embrace the side look, but like the little fuzzies on top. Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand. What is that for?
think it's just really difficult. I think it's really difficult for men losing their hair. I think it's traumatic.
Fair.
I think it's traumatic, and I just want you guys to know most women really don't care. Most women just
Yeah,
like
it just
dudes.
Yeah.
And like
it's
bald
like
dudes, it doesn't matter.
the
Like I like
only
bald dudes.
Yeah. The
It does,
only
it's never bothered me.
reason we care is because you're not choosing a side. Like, go for it or don't. Like, that's the only thing. Like,
Were you
stop
trying to get
mentioning
hair?
it.
Were you trying to get hair talk on the bingo card?
No, but it's been bothering me. I'm like, like Jeff always said
Hair
it
talk
was a
has been
lifestyle
called.
choice.
Yes.
And I thought it always made me think, oh, most bald dudes tend to be more confident because they're just
Yes,
embracing the no
I
more.
agree. I agree. I think when you go into that bathroom and you come out with a shaved head, it says to the world, I don't give a fuck. Like this is it. I'm done with this nonsense. And I think
Especially
that's
facial
better.
hair.
Yeah, right. You could always grow
Yeah.
a beard. It's
I
weird
think-
how
I
come
think
men
bald
don't
dudes
get
should share
balding on
that.
their beards? Why is it only on the head? These are questions I
Actually,
need answered.
I never thought about that until this moment. And I'm like, that's true of like all hair on our body except for our head.
Isn't that weird?
It's weird.
That's really weird.
Why?
I'm sure that there's
Is it
I'm sure there's
because
an
we're
answer for
always
that.
touching it?
I have no idea. Maybe we should ask Grok.
Grok would probably know.
Grok would probably know. Let's see. Why do men bald on top of the head, but
Well, not
beards
just men, but women too.
still grow? Let's see. Let's see if he knows this answer. He, she, it, they, them. Is Grok a they, them?
I've asked Grok, and Grok says it's just whatever. It's just a
Whatever you
program, so
want.
it doesn't care. But I asked why like I had a conversation why humans put genders on things like cars and phones, and apparently it's just a way to kind of like because we form attachments with these things. It's just a way that we further give them personalities.
This is really weird. So it's all about DHT. It's a hormone called dihydrotestosterone. And this, I'm going to try and summarize, this hormone affects the hair on the head the opposite that it affects the hair on the face. So it actually, while it makes the hair on the head go away, it makes the hair on the face get thicker.
Oh.
That is so weird.
Genetics are weird. I love the human body. It's fascinatingly confusing.
Fascinatingly confusing. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Oh, look it.
Fun
Monkey says, I've always wondered that. I'm balding, but got a full beard. Yeah. So apparently when you're balding, that hormone that DHT is working overtime, and it's also working on your face. So at the same time you're balding on top, it's making your face hair thicker and fuller. So it's God's way of saying you're a badass with a bald head and a thick ass beard. Okay. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Women like it. So I don't know why it is traumatic. Men do not like losing their hair. And I think they hang on to whatever vestiges are left because they're sad about it. And I wish they wouldn't be.
But also like embrace the badass look too.
Right. I mean, Jeff looked amazing. He was totally bald. What a badass beard he had. Oh my God. It's the best.
Oh, yeah.
It's the absolute best. So yeah, nobody cares. Women do not care about this.
You want to review the question and answer I just read you again?
I think if you wanted to ask me what I meant by what I said, I could explain it very succinctly.
Well, let me try it this way. Dr. Samuel Newberger, you're acquainted with him.
Oh, we know him.
Eli.
Dr.
Eli.
Yes.
Eli
I am
Newberger.
Sorry. Dr. Eli Newberger, you're acquainted with him.
I am acquainted with him.
And he is the person that is in charge of the child abuse team at the hospital.
That is correct.
And you were in consultation with him the next day.
That is correct.
And you discussed this case with him.
That is correct.
And you're aware that, was he present when you were also talking about this with the police?
He was not.
All right. but you discussed with him on February 5th the opinions both of you had as to the degree of impact involved in this trauma? Did you have such discussions? Yes or no?
I don't believe we discussed degree of impact ever.
Okay. Let me try it one more time. And Dr. Counsel, page 129 of the record. Let me read you this question and answer from the grand jury with respect to the issue of impact. And tell me if you still stand by it today. Fair enough? Question, Dr. Mattson, do you have an opinion based on everything you saw about Matt, your review of the medical records, to a reasonable degree of medical certainty, as to whether the injuries you observed were a result of any kind of an accident? Answer, I think the injury must have been related to a very profound acceleration, deceleration kind of injury. In order for that to happen, to get that degree of injury in an accident might require, say, a high-speed automobile accident or a fall from a very high distance.
I did say that, and I emphasized the words accident when I said it.
Well,
in order to get that from an accident, you would have to have a very significant fall.
Doctor, my question, so we understand each other, and this is all that I'd like you to answer. Do you agree that the force of impact that you believe caused the skull fracture and the subdural hematoma was the equivalent of a fall from a very high distance? Isn't that what you're saying?
If it had been an accidental injury, that would be what would be present in the literature. We don't know for non-accidental injuries how to measure the impact.
Why don't you know that?
Yeah, why didn't you try and figure that out?
How come you can measure the impact in an accidental injury, but you can't in a non-accidental injury? I mean, don't you have to know how it happened? Like, don't you? No, the answer is no, they don't. They just accuse you of things. They accuse you of squunching the baby, and then it's all over. You're a criminal.
Right? So, like, from my perspective, what he's saying is Barry Scheck had asked him, like, you said that it was this impact. And he's trying to go back on his own words and say, oh, well, if it had been an accident, that's what would have caused it. That's what I was speaking to. And that's not the question that was posed. And now he's trying to kind of worm his way out of it. And I don't understand.
Isn't it convenient how if it's non-accidental, they don't have to have an explanation for impact and how the impact occurs. So that's just laziness. See, this is laziness that I do not like, that shows itself in all of these cases where it's like, okay, well, we would be able to tell you the impact if it were a car. It's the equivalent of a car accident or being dropped from a third story, but we don't know how it happened, but we're definitely saying it wasn't an accident. That's crazy.
And it's like, okay, well, what force is that equivalent to if it's non-accidental? Are you saying they dropped their child out of a third story, or they were in a car accident and just didn't tell anybody?
Yeah,
like,
he's
what does that even mean?
He's found a very interesting anomaly in the testimony, because it's like, okay, well, what is the equivalent then in a household where you're not in an automobile and nobody fell over a third story balcony? How do you recreate those types of impacts then non-accidentally? And they can't explain it. They're just saying, well, we know it wasn't an accident. How do you know that? This is the same thing they did to the Hernandez family and to the Timms family. They're basically like, well, too bad, it doesn't matter. We don't have to know how it happened. It's just, we know it wasn't accidental and you're a monster.
Yeah.
We're talking about force of impact. Do you understand me?
I do understand, yes.
All right. aren't you telling this jury that the force of impact, in your opinion, would have been the equivalent of
Yeah, that's
the
what
baby
he's
falling
Yes, that's what he's
from
saying.
a very high distance on its head onto a flat surface? Isn't that what you said?
Mr. Scheck, when I answered that question to the grand jury, I could only answer it from the point of view of my own experience. And
I think there may be some confusion here. What Mr. Scheck is asking you is
the
there,
judge.
in your opinion, an equivalence in force? That's all he's asking to focus on.
I will say I don't know if there's an equivalence in force there or not.
Then why did you say it?
You don't know.
But would it be fair that you still stand by the answer you gave the grand jury?
Yes, I would.
I'm adding bullshit to the bingo card.
Yeah, because holy shit.
And doctor, after the operation on February 4th, then you spoke to the police on February 5th. You described to them what you just told us about the force of the impact, what you told the police. And you also told them that, in your opinion, the skull fracture and the subdural hematoma had occurred as a result of this impact injury on the morning or the afternoon hours of February 4th. Either 2 or 3 hours prior to admission to the hospital, or at most 6 hours prior to admission to the hospital.
That was my opinion, yes.
And so the baby was admitted to the hospital at 4:10, right?
Yes.
Thundertaker, this is hilarious. Thank you for the 2. I started to use Tinder last night. Be careful. Did you take prophylactic antibiotics before you did that? Because that's what I would
Right?
suggest.
Careful you don't end up with a Laura Owen situation.
Yes, be very careful. Let us know how it goes, though. We're always interested. Duncan, Idaho, member for 26 months. Hey, it's good to see you, Duncan. Mens rea? How could we have gotten mens rea? Did we take blood? I missed that clip. We need that clip.
That's a good clip.
And then we have a super tip, which I'm going to pull up because this was relevant a little while ago. I don't want it to get lost. Ryland Poole, nice to see you, buddy.
Tips to not get domed by a cop from a totally licensed lawyer. Tip 1, don't be belligerently drunk in public. Tip 2, don't try to hit a cop with your car.
Good idea.
Tip 3, don't get in a brawl with a McAlbert.
Bad advice. Drink heavily and speed. If cops can't catch you before you make it to your driveway, you're home safe. It's been a long time since I caught you live. Howdy to you and your daughter.
Yes, Flux is my internet daughter. Everyone knows this. And weirdly, she looks so similar to my oldest daughter. I mean, honestly, we could be related.
I have to send you a picture because I found a picture from when I was 17. It popped up in my Facebook profile and I'm like, weirdly, I do think we could be cousins.
Yes.
Like at a minimum. I got to send you that picture.
I forgive everyone who was like, and she was streaming with her daughter. I'm like, okay, well, I could see how you would think that. I really can. She really looks like my oldest. It's funny. It's really funny. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see. How do we get this back up here?
And you were telling the police within less than 24 hours after surgery that it was a high impact injury and the skull fracture in the subdural had occurred. Let's say 3 hours would be something like 1:10 p.m. in the afternoon, and 6 hours would bring it back to, I'm bad on the math.
Lawyers and math.
10:20.
I should put lawyer math on the card.
Something like that.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And that as a result of a high impact injury, a skull fracture, a subdural hematoma, in your opinion, the baby would have immediately and permanently lost consciousness.
Oh, holy cow, Flux.
The,
That picture.
I
Oh my gosh, I gotta show that to her. That is so funny. You do. You also, in this, I gotta show you a picture of my sister at this age because you're a dead ringer for my sister.
Really?
Yes.
You
My
know,
oldest
that
sister,
picture,
the one you don't know. You don't know her. Oh my God.
that it popped up and I was like, it popped up, I want to say maybe a week ago in my memories. And I was like, oh, I did kind of look like her when I was younger. Like we
Oh,
do look pretty
You
similar.
look like my family. You also look like my mother when she was young in this picture too. This is crazy. Mary Jane
long
says,
lost
I'd
family."
be a great lawyer. My math is so bad that I think that is
Right?
a requirement. If you're going to be a lawyer, you can't also be good at math. Mathing is too
I think
hard.
that
I have
is
to
most
take
likely,
math
yes.
this semester, and I'm not looking forward to it.
That's what you told him the next day, less than 24 hours after the surgery.
Yes.
And as a result, withdraw. And not too many minutes or hours after that, you were aware, after you and Dr. Newberger spoke with the police, they locked up Louise Woodward.
I don't believe I was aware of that until reading it in the newspaper.
Now, the next day then, you realize that after they spoke to you, withdraw. Let's try it this way. When you spoke to the police and the district attorneys the next day, less than 24 hours later, given this situation, you had a firm expectation that after you made the statement you did and expressed the view that you did, she was going to be arrested.
I was not, that was not part of my that was not something that I was concentrating on at the time.
Didn't occur to you?
Well, it occurred to me that they were there to do some kind of job, but that is not my job. My job was to save Matthew if possible.
No. However, you were aware as soon as you got this case at 4:10 in the afternoon, but in the afternoon of February 4th.
Did he literally just say that was not my job? We're going to have to put the Spider-Man meme back up on the bingo card.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
We need
Not
Spider-Man
my job.
meme. I'm gonna have to find that for the next card.
It's the secret handshake. They all know it.
They all know it.
You were in the CT scan room looking at something on another case, right?
That's correct.
And Dr. Pasucci came over, an anesthesiologist.
That's correct.
He's a colleague of yours.
That's correct.
And you knew him to be a friend of Dr. Sunil Eapen.
That's correct.
And you knew that Dr. Sunil Eapen and Dr. Deborah Eapen were present in the hospital and their baby had been brought in with a severe injury. That was
I met both Drs. Eapen in the CAT scanner. They were there already.
By the way, The Undertaker already has a Tinder update. Found my cousin on Tinder, so I stopped. Undownload.
Good
choice.
Decision. Very good
decision.
choice.
Listen, get outside, meet women out in the real world, or men, whoever you're looking for. Running clubs,
the auto
skiing
store,
clubs, the auto parts store, the bookshop, the florist. I don't know, anywhere, just not on Tinder. Yeah, we need to reverse this dating scenario that's going on. We need to get better at just talking to people.
Yeah.
Like in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It helps with communication issues. Like having that solid beginning, like helps that foundation. When it's built on Tinder, I'm not knocking it for people that have been successful, but I'm just saying overall, in general.
Well, Thundertaker says, I'm a trucker. Well, that makes it more difficult because you're transient and going all over the place all the time. So that online is probably a little better socially. So I get that. But maybe try Bumble. I don't know. Tinder is not the place. Maybe Bumble. I don't know. Also, stay away from lot lizards unless you have, again, prophylactic antibiotics. I feel like that needs to be on the bingo card. How many times am I going to say prophylactic antibiotics today?
Both Dr. Eapen and
Dr. Eapen, both
At least.
Dr. Deborah and Dr. Sunil Eapen were in the CAT scanner room where I obtained consent from them. So that's where I met them.
In other words, you, Dr. Pasucci, both Dr. Eapen's looked at the CT scans of this case together?
That's correct. I routinely go over scans with parents of patients I operate on, and this was no exception.
And that's where you met them and you looked at these CT scans together and then you went off and did the surgery?
That's correct.
And you knew that this case had already been called in as what they call a Section 51A matter.
That is correct.
Meaning child abuse.
That is correct.
And you are one of those individuals that's a mandatory reporter in that situation.
That is correct.
And that it is incumbent upon you and the other doctors involved in the hospital. Unfortunately, in these kinds of cases, you're working both as doctors and also as sort of like medical legal investigators?
Well, I think the role is not investigator, but to bring it to attention if there's a question about it, yes.
All right, so you know in these kinds of situations that it's not just the mission of primary importance, do everything you can to save and heal the child, but there's also this other aspect that you know is going on, and that is there's going to be an investigation where you have certain obligations into child abuse.
I was aware of that, yes.
I want to know, why do all of these doctors get hinky about admitting that they are also investigating a crime? Because we all know that that's what they're doing.
I think because they know they're not criminal investigators.
Yeah, but they end up being medical investigators. How he put it is absolutely correct, that you are also acting as a medical investigator. Yeah, why do you want, well, not really, or whatever. Just say yes. Just say
You're
yes.
looking for medical evidence. It's the same thing.
Right.
It's
And a
just
doctor, by definition, kind of an investigator anyway, right? Because you're investigating what's the cause of this, how did it happen, when. That is investigating. But they avoid that word so much. It's like because they know that's where they're going to go down, because it's not their job to investigate crimes. It's not their job to actually determine what is a crime. And that could be, a problematic.
Yeah.
And it'd be fair to say that this is kind of an awkward situation generally.
Child abuse is always an awkward situation.
When you're encountering any parents in this kind of situation, it is awkward.
It is awkward.
It makes one uncomfortable.
Yes.
And in this instance, right away from the moment you got this case, you knew these were medical colleagues.
That's correct.
I understand not personal friends of yours, but Dr. Sunia Lipin, of course, is an anesthesiologist.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I forgot that the parents were doctors.
Yep.
I forgot. So now you've
Which
got
makes
this
me
added layer of protecting their own. Oh
Mhm.
man.
It makes me very curious.
Yeah.
And
he was known to many of the anesthesiologists, but I had never met him, and I have not seen them since.
Right, and you never did an operation together.
That's correct.
Right. But the added factor that these were two doctor patients, and one of whom is affiliated and working at the same hospital where you were working, right?
Yes, at the Brigham. Yes.
Yes. So even though they're not personal friends, a fair term would be medical colleagues.
That's correct. That's definitely true.
So this made it an even more uncomfortable situation.
Is he going to answer that?
Not quickly.
Did you answer?
Yes, it was. I nodded.
I know you're nodding.
It was
We-
very
for the record,
very difficult. Yes. It was a very difficult, trying situation.
And in this kind of situation, would you agree that there is a danger in losing objectivity that you want to guard against, but there's a danger of losing objectivity?
There may be some cases where there's a danger of losing objectivity.
And in this kind of situation, there's a danger that one might not exercise as much critical judgment as you ordinarily would want to.
We tried to exercise the very best clinical judgment we could in this case.
I understand that, but I'm just talking about these kinds of situations. That's a danger right away. Child abuse, awkward. Medical colleagues, awkward. Critical judgment is a danger that might be impaired. It's human nature. Fair enough?
I don't believe that we were worried about our judgment being impaired on that count, no.
And were you concerned at all, given the awkwardness of the situation, about making a snap judgment?
Meaning, were we concerned that we would?
I ask you, not me, you. Were you concerned at all in this situation, as the events evolved between February 4th and February 5th, given the awkwardness of this situation, that maybe you might be making a snap judgment in this case on insufficient data.
My concern would have been, if anything, that we would take too long to make the judgment. And in fact, we made the judgment to do the surgery within minutes of seeing the scan.
No, I'm not talking about the
Not
judgment
talking
with
about
respect to the
surgery,
doctor.
idiot. No.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the judgment you made on February 5th when you told the police and you told the prosecutors that, in your opinion, this was a high-impact injury causing a skull fracture that morning and a subdural hematoma that morning, and that the baby, and that this had happened 2 to 3 hours or at the most 6 hours prior to admission, and that the baby after this impact would have immediately lost consciousness. That's what you told them the next day. Was that judgment? Do you have any fear that that was a snap judgment?
I support those judgments continuously to this day.
So the answer to that question is no.
We were not worried about a snap judgment,
The
no.
question called for a yes or no answer, and the witnesses answer.
I like this judge.
Yeah, I like that he's actually like engaging and participating in the trial.
Now, there are procedures
I
and
like that
policies.
he's not making the lawyer. He's not.
Yeah.
I like that he's not making the lawyer work harder to be like, I asked you a yes or no question. Is it yet? What is the answer? Yes or no? The judge is just reminding him he's asking you yes or no questions. Just say it. Because honestly, you shouldn't have to fight with the witness. The judge should put them in their place. And I don't see that happen very often anymore. He's clarifying something with Barry. Now the judge wants to know what he's asking.
Yes.
Oh, sidebar.
Thank you.
Sidebar.
Dr. Mattson, there are certain rules and regulations that exist at Children's Hospital.
Oh, another sidebar.
Dr. Mattson, there are certain rules and regulations at Children's Hospital with respect to the preservation of specimens that are removed at surgery.
That's correct.
And you're familiar with those rules?
I sit on the tissue committee at Children's Hospital. So I am familiar, yes.
Oh my God.
And one of the rules here is that all specimens removed during surgical procedures are sent to the pathology department for evaluation.
That is correct.
And that the surgical staff and pathologists will decide on the rare exceptions to this rule.
Well,
Wait a minute. We've got more Tinder updates.
Oh.
The bad thing is she's engaged to get married in August and she's still active on Tinder.
Oh no! Oh no!
We have a full-on Reddit thread happening right now. You need to get on.
Oh, this is one. Yeah.
I found my cousin on Tinder. I watch these videos all day long of people reading Reddit stories. This is a great one.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, when did she? I was gonna ask, like, when did she get engaged? But like, none of that matters. Once you start dating, you typically like get rid of the profile, right? And then once you get engaged, you definitely get rid of it, right?
Oh my goodness. That's terrible. That's horrible.
He's going to a family gathering this Saturday.
Oh, you're gonna have to get.
Yes.
What are you gonna do?
Bring it up and then let us know next Thursday what happens.
Yes, we want to know. We want the update.
Confront her. And then definitely let us know.
I have an idea. Print out her Tinder profile at Kinko's on one of those big poster boards and just set it up at the event. Okay, that's brutal. But also she's engaged. That's a really disgusting thing for someone who's engaged to be doing. I hope
And
you tell
she's a
her
brain
fiance.
doctor, apparently.
I hope you tell her fiance because that sucks.
That's
And he should be able to get out of this before he commits to giving this person half of his stuff. I don't even know if I have the sexes right. I don't know. It could be a man doing this. I don't know. Oh no, it's a she. She's a brain doctor. Yeah, you need to save her fiance from this. That's my advice.
Yeah. That's I mean, I know that's your cousin, but she trifling.
All you have to do is anonymously send him her Tinder profile. Just open an anonymous email or something and send it that way.
Print it out at Kinko's and then just leave it out from their house.
Yeah. Oh, that's terrible.
Good
Why
Lord.
do people cheat? It's so bad, and it
You know, I get anxiety when I cheat on Mrs. Flux with Chick-fil-A. God forbid an actual person. I couldn't do it. Like,
I saw the most hilarious post on Facebook. It was this woman saying, 5 years ago I lost my husband, and I'll never forget. And something like, and I think about him all the time and how much he loved cheese fries. And underneath, her husband replies, "For Christ's sake, Mary, I ate cheese fries without you one time and I've been dead to you ever since." And she replies underneath, "Sometimes it feels like he's in the room with me."
It was so funny that on a similar note, Mrs. Flux once sent me a reel where it was two women. And it was this one woman and she was crying into the camera. She's like, "My girlfriend broke up with me today. She says she hates me. She doesn't love me anymore. And she doesn't want to be with me." And then it pans over and the girlfriend's like, "Babe, I just said we're not going to McDonald's today." And she's like, "It's the same thing.
This is the same."
But I'm like, I can't even get fast food and not tell Mrs. Flux. Like, I would have so much anxiety. How do these people? I could not manage it. I could not do it.
And it never ends up well. Like, no one ever comes out of a cheating relationship better than they were before. You lose your house, your kids, your, stability, your happiness, it's terrible. And you traumatize your kids or whatever. It's not good. It's really not good. I wish people would just stop doing it. But it does make for some good Reddit stories. So if you're gonna be stupid, make sure your story makes it to Reddit.
Is that true?
That is an overreading of the rule.
Well, let's not.
I think the question Mr. Check is asking is he accurately reading the rule?
And I would say the answer is no.
Well, let me see if you recognize this.
Why did they not save Matthew's tissue?
Should I mark this as an exhibit for identification?
Yes, please.
If it was important to the case, probably not.
Probably not.
I'd like you to take a look at this document, see if you recognize it to be the rules for specimen retention at Children's Hospital.
It says that all specimens removed. Yes, I would accept that that's what it is. I would have to see it in context, but I will accept.
I don't want to have any quibbles with you about context. You want to take
okay, sure.
I hate when witnesses do this.
I know. Look at Barry's face. Oh my God. Look at the jury. I think the jury's on that side. Did you see what he just did? He just rolled his eyes at the jury. He was like, ah.
That's like, no, the lawyer is gonna lie to you in court with the paper right in front of your face. Like, what do you mean? You don't know the context, or you don't think it's
again? He won't answer the question, and the question was, do you understand this rule? Is this rule in your understanding correct? He wouldn't say yes. I find it, if I'm on a jury and a witness is doing this, everything in his power not to just answer a simple question, I am making notes. This person is a liar, period. Mm-hmm. You are lying. I don't know why you're lying, but you're clearly lying.
Now, here's the document you're holding in your hand. It's been marked Exhibit G for identification. A fair copy of the rules for specimen retention of children's hospitals.
I believe I don't know for certain. I believe it probably is.
Okay. And would you not agree that
so uncomfortable.
The purpose of these rules are that specimens are of vital importance for determining the immediate diagnosis and course of treatment of a patient?
Yeah. Barry is totally facing the jury now, and he's not leaving the side of the witness, which is funny. And he's got his leg propped up on the witness stand. I am loving this body language. He's now leaning it back into the box like, okay, I'm getting comfortable now.
Yeah, he owns that space. That's his space.
And he has made the witness now try to move away from him. If you notice, he leaned forward now because Barry's behind him. He's leaning forward to get away, and he's not looking at him either. Look at this. This body language is fantastic.
I would agree.
And that in terms of general information, that people such as yourself, surgeons, are directed that all specimens removed during surgical procedures are sent to pathology department for evaluation.
That is correct, all specimens.
And the surgical staff and the pathologists decide on the rare exceptions to this rule.
That is correct.
Right? And those exceptions are only made when quality of care is not compromised and if verification of the removal is documented in an official operative report.
That is correct.
And that the list of specimens that are accepted that need not be sent to pathology are specimens that might be sterilized or reutilized by medical staff and other patients.
This right here, it tells me that Barry Scheck knows how to deal with a camera in the room, because this is the greatest camera angle I've ever seen in a courtroom with a lawyer cross-examining a witness.
That's what you call a money shot right there.
That's a money shot. Like, and it's sustained for a very long time.
I mean,
it's very zooming in.
They're
so
framed
good.
well with Bob right in the middle.
It's so good. Oh God, I can just imagine Jeff laughing at this. I'm sure he would love it. I'm sure he would absolutely love this. This is some showmanship right here. It's fantastic. He's acknowledging the cameras in the room. He's getting his face time, and he's also making this witness extremely uncomfortable.
Such as orthopedic hardware and pacemakers, right?
Yes.
And that has no relation to this case.
No, it has a very strong relation. We took the bone out, we froze it.
Let me try that this way. I'm sorry, finish your answer.
We removed all of the bone, which was removed, which is the only tissue which we removed, was kept frozen on the hopes that if Matthew were to recover, we could replace it sometime. And we did that in the bone bank.
Sorry. So in other words,
Barry made a mistake there, though. He asked a question that was too open-ended. He didn't want him to get that in there, but it's his fault. He asked a question, would you agree? And if your witness says no because whatever, the judge is going to allow it. So
the bone that you took out, in case he recovered, you wanted to put it back, right?
That's correct.
Well, let me direct you to the specimen of concern here, and that is the blood clot that you removed from Matthew Eapen, the subdural blood clot. Okay?
Okay.
You didn't preserve that, did you?
No, we did not.
All right. And the importance of the subdural blood clot removed is that a subdural blood clot can be sent to the pathology department, can it not?
No, no purpose.
But I'm going to show him this in a second.
Oh, look, he's objecting to him standing there. Did you hear that? He said, Your Honor, there's no purpose in him standing where he's standing.
And he can get away with it because he's going to show him the paper.
Your Honor, I'm going to show him this thing in just a second. So, so it's really funny. Yes, showmanship needs to go on the bingo card. Okay, showmanship going on the bingo card.
If a blood clot is organized enough that it becomes a solid tissue, it can be sent to the pathology department, yes.
Let's slow down. You agree, do you not, that the blood clot can be analyzed by pathology to give a determination as to age?
Yeah.
Solid blood clots can be, yes.
And that the kind of determination that would be made is that when you get a blood clot from a subdural hematoma, in terms of age, one begins to look as a pathologist or a
The doctor has completely given up now. He has now turned to face the lawyer who is playing directly to the jury. Imagine being the prosecutor in this case where you are fuming knowing what he is doing. You are like, judge.
He still hasn't shown him the paper yet.
No.
He's just standing there still.
And he is totally making eye contact with the jury. He's not even looking at the witness. It's so funny. And the doctor is now slowly moved so that he has to face him almost backwards in his chair because he's behind him. It's making him look so stupid.
neuropathologist for certain telltale signs that will begin to give you very definite evidence as to age, such as the growth of capillaries or cells known as fibroblasts.
That is true.
And if the blood clot that you removed in this case had been preserved and sent to pathology, then somebody in the pathology department or the defense in this case could have made an analysis as to whether or not there was growth of capillaries or fibroblasts, or the term you used before, signs of organization. Fair enough?
Not in this case, sir.
No. That could have been done if the clot had been sent to pathology. That's true, isn't it?
Yes, but those findings could not have been found because this was liquid blood.
Well, doctor, if you had, let's...
Derisive laugh.
That was like... That was beautiful.
All right, now I know why Jeff likes this guy.
I was just going to say, man, this right here is why Jeff loved this man. This right here.
I just laughed at the witness. He goes, ha! And meanwhile, he's still in this position. He's facing the jury. I can't breathe. This is funny. And the prosecutor, I wish we had a camera on his face. He's got to be steaming right now, like just fuming that this is happening. Oh, if I'm on the jury, I am so amused.
Am I just so dumb where I'm like, isn't the whole definition of a clot the fact that it's not liquid blood?
All right, let's ask Rock. Ask Rock.
Because I'm over here like, it doesn't matter how hard the clot is. If it's at all started to clot, it's not liquid blood and it's clotted and you can determine what is he even talking about? I know I've only taken biology for one semester, but
I know but the word clot itself means blood that is clotted, and clotted means it has to
not
be liquid. Okay, so Grok says blood clots, also called thrombi in the brain, such as those causing ischemic strokes, are indeed formed from clotted blood. They start as blood that has changed from a liquid to gel-like, semi-solid, or solid state. This is the core definition of a clot. Blood hardens via platelets and fibrin to form a clump that can block vessels. However, clots aren't always rock hard. Their consistency varies widely depending on age, composition, and type. If they are fresh or acute clots, they can be softer, gel-like, or semi-liquid. But that's still not full liquid, is it?
But that's still not full liquid, and you can still at least try to determine the age of it if you send it off to pathology.
I would imagine
the fact that he's like,
let me ask, can pathology,
because it's still a gel-like substance,
the age of a fresh acute clot that is semi-liquid? Grok is pretty good at this medical stuff. That was one of the things that Elon made sure it had a ton of knowledge in, was medical stuff. Pathology can estimate the age of a fresh acute blood clot, including those that are semi-liquid or gel-like, but with important limitations, especially for very fresh ones. A fresh acute thrombi, typically 1 to 5 days old, are characterized histologically by layered fibrin, intact platelets, abundant erythrocytes, erythrocytes or red blood cells, acute inflammatory cells, and lines of Zahn. These features distinguish them from postmortem clots, which lack attachment to vessel walls and organization. So the short answer is yes, they can with some limitations, but there could be.
It should have.
They should be able to approximate it.
Well, I mean, at a minimum, it should have been sent to pathology so that they could at least have tried.
Yeah. Ultra precise timing isn't reliable, but you can do greater than or less than. So they're saying you can do a greater than or less than 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
So why didn't they do that?
Because they know everything, Megan. Have you learned nothing in all of our trials? These doctors know everything.
They know everything. Yeah, we won't be able to tell within 5 or closer to than 1 to 5 days. So let's not even try.
It's one of those things where the investigator said, "Oh, they just threw the baby on the ground," and so they're like, "Okay, that's what happened. We don't need to test it because that's what they said happened. So when we actually do need to test it, you can't do shit because we already threw it away because the investigator said."
I think Superman fought Zod, not Zahn. Wasn't it Zod?
It's Zod. No. No, it is Zod.
Zod, Z-O-D, not Zahn. I said Zahn.
Let's distinguish something here for a second.
Right.
We'll get back to it in a second.
I'll tell you, why don't we get back to it when the jurors have had their coffee, because I understand they've had their coffees here. Please, members of the jury.
We're having a coffee break. You can check off coffee break. I was actually going to use that for my coffee break, but I still have coffee, so I'm good. But the jury's taking a coffee break. I think Barry looks a little disappointed because he's going to have to reset after the coffee break, and getting back to that position is going to be, let's see if he can do it. Oh, coffee break. Oh yeah, there it is. It's on there. If he can do it, I'm going to be very impressed if he can reset himself in this exact position. That is so good.
We do not discuss the case during the recess. I want you to see counsel at the sidebar for a moment.
Ooh, sidebar.
Okay. All right. That was the end of that one. We need to move on to I believe that was part 2, and we should be on part 3.
Hey, more brain guy.
Dr. Madsen, before we go back to this issue of the specimen.
Barry's back at the podium.
Yeah, he's not going to let him go back.
Damn.
In fairness to you, I just want to clarify something that we were talking about earlier. Now, on February 5th, when you spoke to the police and the prosecutors, you indicated to us that you had not seen any notes from Dr. Deborah Epen about Matthew's history that morning, correct?
That's correct.
All right. And the medical records prepared by Dr. Mandel at the hospital reflect, in terms of history, that Matthew was reportedly in normal healthy baby that morning.
I believe that's correct, yes.
And so when you spoke to the police on February 5th and the prosecutors and rendered your opinion, you were operating on the assumption that Matthew had been a perfectly normal baby that morning.
Yes.
And all those other factors that we discussed at the beginning of the cross-examination, the lethargy.
What did you say? I missed that.
I'm sorry. I'm just yelling at the witness. Because Barry had said you assumed he was perfectly healthy that morning, and he said, "Yeah," and I said, "Yeah, you're wrong, bitch.
You're wrong."
The difficulty to arouse.
I have a button for that.
Wrong.
Yeah, there it is.
Loss of appetite, the extreme irritability, all of those factors. You had no knowledge of anything like that when you rendered your opinion on February 5th. Fair enough?
That is correct.
Okay. And of course, whenever one makes judgments like this, the judgment you made on February 5th, you can do no better than the history you have and the assumptions that you have to make based on that history. Fair enough?
That is correct.
Okay. Now, let's get back to this issue of the specimen. Your Honor, I'm going to make my first attempt at technology here.
Oh boy. Lawyers and tech.
Ooh, it's not gotten better in 20 years.
Is it going to be old tech?
This is a blow up of the image of February.
I'm curious about what tech he's trying to
what
use.
tech?
Is it the overhead projector? Oh no, it's a
it's a whiteboard. It's a whiteboard.
That's the fancy tech.
That's the tech?
I'd like to mark this. What do we have?
A whiteboard.
It's a whiteboard.
All right, guys. Old tech is been called on the bingo card. I mean, it doesn't get much older than a whiteboard unless he pulled out a chalkboard. I still don't have bingo. I'm getting close though. If you need an update on what's been called for bingo, we have called old tech, overruled, shaken baby, Dorothy Hamill haircut, hair talk, squunched, objection, free space, Bob sighting, sidebar, coffee break, and that's where we are. There's probably been a sustained too. That would give me bingo, but I don't remember it. So we'll just pretend like we don't know. All right.
We just, for the record, indicate which frame that is on our CAT scan.
Is it a blown up brain picture? Because I hope it's not a blown up brain picture.
I don't know.
You said something about a blown up something, and it looks like a blown up
This
photo. It's
Exhibit 27 is a blow up, and I'll ask the doctor to confirm this. Is a blow up.
That's the high tech. This is blow
Image
up.
number 5 of the CAT scan on February 4th.
It's the CAT scans. Those are easy to look at.
1997. That is the
Yeah, those are-
preoperative CAT scan, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we marked as Exhibit 17.
All right, bingo has been called in the chat. Double bingo, actually. So Lizzie has called double bingo. I am going to go back now and add, actually, how do I do that? Where's my edit button? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Don't tell me I have to redo this all over again. All right.
No.
I don't know why it didn't stay open, but it didn't. So it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Today has just been one of those days, Flux. We're just not going to get everything that we want. And it is what it is.
At least we have enough sense to follow instructions. And that's all I can thank God for
True.
today.
True. What we are going to do is I'm going to type up a new bingo card with all the extra squares that we talked about. And when I get the new one done, I will put a new link and we can start over. All right, here we go. Let's get back to this.
Yes, I was numbering them a little, let's see, differently possibly.
You take a look at that and satisfy yourself. I'm sorry.
Just point of clarification, there were two preoperative CAT scans, 17 and 18.
Right, here, why don't you look at 17 and 18? Tell us which ones corresponds to satisfaction.
They are struggling with this old tech.
Let's see. This particular picture actually corresponds to what is numbered as image number 5 on this printing in Exhibit 18, and it would be the 5th image, the same way we were counting it before.
So this is a blow-up of the February 4th CAT scan preoperative on Exhibit 18, image number 5.
Yes, it is.
happening.
The struggle is real. I think they're just trying to pin the boards up to the whiteboard.
Yeah, exactly. Strike the 27 on the.
He's still holding that thing? He needs some double-sided sticky tape or something.
Maybe.
Right?
Now, with the court's permission, may I ask the witness to step down and join me in the hardwood so we can come to something with the jury? All right, just show you up the skin of the jurors.
I'm just gonna hold it, guys. I'm just gonna hold it.
Oh, I can't sit.
I don't know why your microphone is so quiet when the thing is playing, but I can't hear you. All I can hear is
My bad. No, he's just gonna hold it. After all that struggle, he's just gonna hold it.
Okay, this was not a good look, Barry. You failed on this one. Although it was probably amusing for the jury anyway, because everyone's probably laughing at him.
Comedic relief.
Yeah, some comedic relief. He's laughing now.
Doctor, you described in your testimony that when you made an opening in the journal, a fluid squirted out. You call that.
That is correct.
And in your operative notes, and just hold it a second, I don't want to get anything wrong.
I have a similar picture when I graduated kindergarten.
You described
my
that.
certificate.
What? I
have a similar picture of when I graduated kindergarten, and I'm holding my certificate standing there. Did you see when he grabbed it? He was like, "Oh my god!" Like, bro, don't smile like that when you're holding that CAT scan.
Oh yeah. That's
Don't
probably
do
not
that.
a good idea.
Yeah,
All right,
he was posing with it. Like, he
Mhm.
legit posed with it.
Yeah.
As you made a small opening in the journal, and that a fluid came out, right? Which you described as, this appeared to be clearish at first, and then more red, and this was followed by a rapid output of purple blood when the space was decompressed.
Yes.
And you made a very, very precise description of exactly what came out with these medical records. Did you not?
Yes.
And that's very important, to make a precise description of exactly what came out so that other doctors can evaluate these records for purposes of treatment of the patient.
That's correct.
And also for purposes of reevaluating exactly an assessment of the case, even if it comes to legal proceedings.
All right, the new bingo link is pinned in the chat. Generate your new cards now. There's a new bingo link, and the squares that we will be looking at now are flux, angry, coffee break, pee break, distracting hand gestures, sustained, sex scandal face, shaken baby, not my job, hard swallow, Megan hits wrong button, bullshit, Flux pets cat, free space hair talk, sound problems, Meg's BP meds fail, yells in Boston, nickname Dorothy Hamill haircut, Flux looks horrified, 70s porn stash, lawyer math, Jeff did it, squunched, objection, and then there are more words, but it's not showing me them. Why is that? Anyway, some of you will have different bingo cards this time because there are more squares than there are more answers for the number of squares. Whatever. You know what I'm saying. Everyone knows how bingo works.
It's important to have a very precise.
That's correct.
And I think even on record.
Oh, and we're crossing off old tech, right? That was the first one with the new card.
Examination, you describe this as clearish fluid, then reddish blood.
Yes, like serum followed by blood.
Like serum. Could you please, and serum, just so ladies and gentlemen of the jury understand, would be the sort of yellowish, clearish breakdown of blood when it sediments.
Correct.
Okay.
So that as it clots, as it begins to clot, yes.
Now, so in your opinion, just so that we
are completely clear on this.
Sorry, Your Honor, do we have to have Dr. Matson continue to stand to?
Yeah, it's just going to be 1 second because we're going to show precisely where in the cast is. Okay? Sorry. So there's something known as spinal fluid, correct?
Yes.
And spinal fluid is sometimes known as CSF. That is also a perfectly clear fluid, yes? Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, CSF is even a clearer fluid.
Right. But by your observation, the first fluid that spurted out when you made the hole in the dura, the clearish fluid means it was certain, which is some of the word yellowness.
Yes.
In appearance. Okay, now, looking at Exhibit 27, we see the CT scan preoperatively of the subdural, correct?
We do.
And we see an area, the white area that surrounds this picture photograph is the skull.
That's correct.
And next, in the area of the subdural, we see this, vertically crescent area that is between the more whitish area and the highlighted white area of the skull.
Yes, we do.
And there are certain terms that are associated with CAT scans, are they not?
That's true.
And just to be technical about it, when you see the wider area, that is called hyperdense.
Yes, that's true.
Meaning it's white, yes?
Meaning it's white.
Right. And it's whiter ordinarily than the color of the substance of the brain.
That's correct. That's correct.
And that when something is darker, such as the blacker portions here, we call that hypodense.
That's true.
And the density that's the color of the brain, we refer to that as isodense.
That's correct.
And
of a normal brain.
The normal brain. Now, there is a hypodense region between the white area of the skull and another white area, which we can agree is clot.
That's true.
And this hypodense area that is between the skull and the clot, you punctured it, you would agree, and then out squirted this fluid that was at first clearish and then red and then purple, as you described around the nose.
Yes.
Okay. So that's one kind of fluid that came out. Fair enough.
That's true.
Then, when you made, I guess even before you made a wider opening by removing more bone, some clot began to swell out.
Yes.
All? Wait. Squall? A clot began to squall out, Flux. It
I
squalled
wasn't
out.
sure if he said, yeah.
No, he said
What
squall. Is that like a different form of squunch?
Because where I'm from, a snow squall is like a random burst of like snow. I've never heard of a brain squall.
I don't know, but it began to squall out. Is that like crash out? The kids
I'm gonna
say.
ask Rock. I'm gonna ask Rock on this one because we had the whole arachnid situation last week.
That's true. It also could be like a different tense of squunch. Squunch and squall.
Ooh. Yeah. Like it's the pretense. The squall is before the squunch. Or is it post? The squall is a result of the squunch.
I don't know. A brain squall. I've never heard this before. Barry, you're losing me. You're losing me, Barry. Too many papers, Barry.
And what squalled out was a solidified blood clot that was like jello coming out of the small tube and had the appearance of currant jelly.
Yes.
Okay. And
And that's some of this stuff, right?
I think it would correspond.
And now we have Jell-O. Brain squalls and Jell-O. Okay.
Grok doesn't know what I'm trying to say. He doesn't know what that, like, I've tried it like 4 different ways. Like, if someone said brain squall, if the brain was squalling, like, he's just like, no, it's not any phrase or word used commonly.
Squalled out, squalling out of the brain.
Mostly to the blood of your swine.
And then you made a wire opening by removing bone. What was wrong? Before you made the wire opening, did you do anything to try to suction as much clot?
Huh?
He did find one occasion of where brain squall appears online, and it's a playful twist on the word brainstorm, but a more chaotic version of brainstorming is brain squalling.
Huh.
But that's like an obscure online term.
I think he meant squeezed out. I don't think he meant squalled out. I think he just said it wrong. How does one squall?
But he said it wrong multiple times. It wasn't even like a slip of the tongue. He continued to say it wrong. Maybe he meant like crawl and we're hearing it wrong because of the audio?
The audio is pretty bad. Yeah, the audio is pretty bad. So
we irrigated it with fluid, and then we use suckers and irrigators to just wash out all of that.
Okay, so just so we understand. We have you've opened up the flap, right?
Right.
And you made one single puncture to the dura. Fair enough?
It followed immediately by opening the dura widely.
Right. And then you sprayed it with water, so to speak, to try to get out as much clot as you could. And then you took a suction device.
Well, yes, the suction is used to suck up the water. The device that I actually used here is called a septos, or the same thing they used to sometimes to squirt out babies' ears and things like that. So, it looks like one of those things you might use to base a turkey, I suppose. Right?
It's a booger sucker.
Sterile signal, we're squirting on there, the blood's coming out, the suctions to pick up the.
Great. Now we're using a turkey baster on the brain fluids. This is getting lovely.
Yeah. Oh God.
Blood fluids is coming off.
Okay, so you got as much clot as you could with the suction device, and some of it had already squalled out, right? This solidified clot, yes?
Partially solidified, sort of jelly fine.
Yes, partially. Okay.
And he said partially solidified. He did not reiterate. Oh, you just had the horrified face. Flux looks horrified. Take it off the bingo card. Flux looks horrified.
Yeah.
I caught you. I caught you looking horrified. Let's see if I have that on my.
They're talking like, a turkey bastering brain juice.
It's not good. And again, laughing at the absurdities of some of these things, but certainly not the trauma that poor little Matthew Eapen and his family went through, because good Lord, this is horrible. I can't even imagine putting one of my children having this happen.
I would have been laughing so hard at that tech comment, and it was a whiteboard.
I know.
So get back to the issue of the specimens, okay?
Okay.
A whiteboard and a Kinko's printout. Oh, look, he's back in position.
Oh,
he's back. Look,
how long can he stay here?
He's halfway in the witness box. He's back.
I mean, he's almost all the way in there.
He's almost all the way in. Showmanship may now be checked off the bingo card. If you have it on your bingo card, I do. So I get to check that off. I did not have Flux looks horrified, though, unfortunately.
I do.
where the fluid that came out from that hypodense area.
Excuse me, Mr. Sheff, is it necessary to stand there, or can you give the doctor a copy of whatever it is you want from me?
The judge is like, just give him a copy.
Is it necessary to stand there? It is though, Judge. I look the best at this camera angle, Your Honor. Yes.
I can really sink it into the jury from here.
Oh,
wow. Yeah, here's a copy.
Chance now to look at these rules.
He's so disappointed. He's like, damn it.
He's right. Damn it, I had a copy. Shouldn't have had a
go
copy.
back to the podium. No more Perry Mason. No more wandering around the courtroom. Sitting in the witness box.
Leaning
all
up,
casually.
almost putting your, what's up, buddy? Let's
What's
talk
up,
about this.
Mary? What's up? How you doing?
How you doing?
Break and discuss them with Mr. Leone.
Actually, I didn't do that, but I'm.
Did you look at them?
Yes, chat. The new bingo card is pinned at the top of the chat. Get yourself a new bingo card. Hey, expert, what's happening?
Over the break?
I looked at them when we looked at them before.
Okay. Now, just to be clear what we're talking about, the fluid that came out, I think you described on direct examination, got on the jacket of yourself or the clothing.
That's correct.
Nurse? Okay.
Oh,
Because there was a lot of pressure and it just came spurting out.
That's right.
Spooting
all
out
over his jacket. Did you hear? All over his jacket.
Did he just say spooting out? I'm sorry. We're going to have to go back. The words that he keeps using.
On the jacket of yourself or the clothing.
That's correct.
Nurse? Okay. Because there was a lot of pressure and it just came spurting out.
That's right.
Spurting out. Okay,
Spurting.
that is a word. That is a word.
But I'm directing your attention to the clot that you described as solidified in part and having the texture of currant jelly.
Yes.
And I think just before we broke, you agreed that if that clot had been taken.
What?
We're finally back to the whole point before the break.
Right.
It
Boy,
just
did that take
had
a
to come
long
all
time.
full circle so that he could get the doctor to freaking admit
It should have
it's
been
a clot. And
that it should have been sent to pathology.
Preserved and sent to pathology, that an analysis could be made as to whether or not there were any signs of organizations, that is, things like capillaries growing or fibroblasts that could assist in aging. True?
We didn't agree on that particular blood clot. Hypothetically, there are blood clots, you can do that, but not.
Let's start in general.
Okay.
The removal of a clot that is solidified, that is sent to pathology,
Yes.
can be analyzed for the existence of capillaries and fibroblasts and things of that nature.
That is true.
All right. And you were very careful in your answer to the questions of Mr. Leone at the end of your examination to talk about something called a chronic subdural hematoma.
Yes, sir. Yes.
You were answering all those questions in terms of chronic.
Correct.
Now, there are continuums in terms of aging subdural hematomas, yes?
That is true.
Sometimes there are subdurals are called hyperacute.
That's true.
That means within hours.
That's correct.
Then there are categories of acute, subacute, and chronic.
That's correct.
And all those categories are meant to describe is an effort to age how old it is.
Right, and they direct therapy as well.
I'm sorry?
They have therapeutic implications
Yes.
as well. Yes.
But in your experience, sometimes when doctors are saying it's hyperacute or acute or subacute or chronic, we're talking about estimates of range of days, weeks, months.
Correct.
And the way you answered the question at the end of direct examination, and you talked about this as a chronic subdural, did you mean by that something that is months old?
Judge, when the witness talked about anything as being a chronic subdural.
Well, just try to clarify this answer.
Start over.
You used the term chronic in
Yes,
your
I did.
answer to the questions
Yes,
on
I did.
direct. By that, did you mean a subdural that is months old?
I was referring to a very specific pathological entity called a chronic subdural, regardless of its age.
Okay. And in terms of age, how would you characterize a subdural that was 12 to 24 hours old? Would that be, what term would you want to use?
I would probably call that an acute subdural.
All right. How about 48 hours old?
Oh, that might be getting from acute to subacute.
And from 48 hours to, let's say, 3 weeks, how would you call that?
That would probably start to show the changes that you're describing of fibroblasts and could qualify as a chronic subdural hematoma.
Well, so you were saying that, okay. So you're saying that something that is between 48 hours and upwards would begin to show the signs of growing fibroblasts and capillaries.
Well, I think that would, to see that so you'd see it pathologically would probably take weeks.
Now, my question to you now is, in general, if one can preserve clot, solidified clot, current jelly type clot, and send it to pathology, all right? An analysis can be made as whether that clot and any membrane cells that are beginning to grow there, an analysis can be made by pathology as to age.
If you're sending, if the tissue is solid enough to allow them to cut sections, yes.
Now, you would agree, in general, the rules of the hospitals is that all specimens removed during surgical procedures are to be sent to the pathology department for evaluation.
All specimens, yes.
All right. And the exceptions in these rules, you have a copy there, right?
I feel like this is where we
Yes, I do.
started like almost 2 hours ago.
Yep,
This is-
we're back. We're back to the. We're
This
back
is
to the rules.
literally like the first question he asked. Am I,
I know.
wrong?
No, but we didn't get to this because he was being so evasive. So because he was being so evasive, he had to pull out the rules, make him read all of the rules. Remember?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying is that like this is why court sucks ass. And this is why lawyers get paid big bucks, is because you literally have to talk for 2 hours to get one word,
One
like a
question.
one-word answer.
Yeah, not to
We-
mention
on the
if I'm on the jury, though, again, I'm just getting more and more annoyed at the witness because he could have made this. If we're finally back here and this was where we were before our break, I'm going to be like, dude needs to just answer the fucking question already. Like, you're just wasting everyone's time. You're not going to get away with it. Barry's clearly not going to let it go. We're going to be here all day until you answer the question.
we need to add evasive maneuvers to the bingo square. Evasive maneuvers.
Evasive maneuvers. Yes.
Evasive
All right.
maneuvers.
Evasive. That'll be for next week. Maneuvers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because they
Yeah, we're
all
only-
do it.
We only have 15 minutes left before we're calling it quits for today.
First exception generally is sterilized or reutilized equipment, right?
Yes, yes,
That has nothing to do with the clot.
that's correct.
Radioactive material that should be regarded according to radiation safety requirements, that has nothing to do with the clot.
That's correct.
Amputations of injured members in criminal events that for legal reasons have to be evaluated by the medical examiner, that has nothing to do with the clot.
Well, it would have if there had been tissue there to send to the medical examiner or to anyone else.
Wait a second. The amputations of injured members?
Well, it depends what you call an
Is a
injured
clot an
member.
injured member?
Well, it's an evidence of an injury. But at any rate, there was not tissue here that would have been appropriate to send.
Extraneous bodies such as bullets or knives?
There were
That's
none.
not this.
There were none here. Yes.
Okay. So And this report also says, the rules also say, that other than those listed exceptions that you and I have just reviewed, that any other exceptions, right, should be documented in an official operative report.
That's correct.
Let me
Now, in
guess.
this case,
It wasn't.
We didn't
this
feel like we need to.
solidified.
We need to.
Yeah, why do we have to follow the rules? What do you mean?
But
we
look,
only make reports when we want to.
even the closed captions say that it's squalled out.
Oh my-
Nowhere in the English language is squalling out an accurate term.
Squalled out.
That's going to be our new phrase for crashing out. I'm just going to
Yes.
squall out, bro.
Squall out, bro.
I'm squalling out. I'm squalling out here.
That's going on bingo for next week. Squalling out.
Like, that is not that. Like I said,
Flux,
we
I
only-
believe in us. I think we can make this the new crash out. I really do.
Yes. I mean, it's perfect. It's a squall out, man.
I am squalling out.
Clot Carcelli that squalled out at you, that wasn't saved.
That's
Yes
correct.
or no?
That is correct.
And I take it that it is your position that that is not a quote-unquote specimen embraced by these rules.
That is correct.
Now, just so that we all understand how this ordinarily works, is that in surgery, the presumption is that when one removes specimens, that they ought to be saved.
Well, yes, when it's a specimen. In other words, if you'd like me to
So the answer is yes.
Yes, if it's a specimen.
Yes. And what that means is as the specimens are removed, it is then the responsibilities of the nurses to gather that, bottle it, label it, so it can be sent to pathology or other areas of the hospital.
Correct.
And so it's the presumption to do that unless otherwise told.
Correct.
Who told you
And
not
there are,
to?
incidentally, other general rules by organizations such as the College of American Pathology, organizations such like that, all have rules and standards concerning specimens removed during surgical procedures should ordinarily be sent to the pathologist for evaluation.
Including the Tissue Committee of Children's Hospital, yes, sir.
And it's your position that this wasn't a specimen, and if it had been in your judgment a specimen, it would have been sent.
Yes.
All right. And your position that it isn't a specimen is it wasn't solid or enough for you to send.
If we had taken this and put it in a jar of saline, it would have fallen apart. It just was not a piece of organized tissue, which would have been the case if it had been, if any of the processes which you've alluded to had been happening. Therefore, it was not a piece of tissue.
Has it ever happened to you, doctor, that you've removed some clot or specimen during the course of surgery and you thought that it was relatively hyperacute or acute, and then it went to pathology, or some specimens went to pathology, and pathology, when they actually look on the microscope and look at those cells, tell you it's older?
No, that has not happened.
Never been surprised like that in the whole course of your surgery?
No.
Okay.
I don't believe him. That was
Me
a good
either.
question. That was a good question. So basically, and again, it highlights these doctors who think they're never wrong and they can never make mistakes. Like, it's never happened to you in your entire career that you thought something was acute and pathology said, no, it isn't?
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Oh God. Does Barry have a record that says just the opposite of that? Because he's digging
I
for
hope
something
so.
right now. And the way he said, okay, he's like, okay, and then goes directly for his trial bag. What is going on?
And just to be clear, you're saying you don't think this was a specimen that could be useful to the pathologists?
Correct.
You made that judgment on the spot?
Actually, at the moment, our judgments had to do with whether we should remove brain tissue to try to decompress. I mean, we had very important
Only
things we
talking
were
about
thinking
the
about at
clot.
the moment. Our major issue was not the investigation. With respect to the clot comes out of the brain. It goes down those plastic drapes you saw in the thing. It ends up on the floor and in the suction buckets, and there was no organization of the tissue.
Well, so what you're saying is that would this be, there was high pressure in this case, the clot came out quickly, yes?
Yes.
You did your best to suction.
Yes.
And this operation was being performed very rapidly.
That's correct.
In fact, in your mind, this was an emergency type situation.
Yes, it was.
The pressure, you could tell, was very, very strong.
That is true.
And in your operative notes, you actually describe each stage of the procedure as happening very quickly, yes?
Yes, that is true.
You describe the burr holes as being rapidly drilled.
That is true.
You describe actually examining Matthew's scalp and very quickly shaving his head, prepping and applying the drapes. At the very beginning. Very rapidly, you call it.
Time is of the essence.
Right. And that after the bone fragment was removed, the dura was rapidly opened.
That is correct.
So, in other words, you were moving as rapidly as humanly possible.
Yes.
You were removing that clot as quickly as you could.
Yes.
And I think, as you just said, you weren't focusing on the clot. You were focusing on the possibility that you might actually have to remove brain tissue.
That's correct. And that would certainly have been a specimen, sir. That would have been tissue.
Wait for a question.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, wait for a question.
Last question on this. Are you saying that
Look at this.
what?
Look at like just
Are you saying?
good Lord. Oh my God.
Fell on the floor in this rapidly evolving operation, or fell on the table, this current jelly solidified clot you described. Are you saying that from the point of view of a pathologist, right, that the pathologist, if the pathologist had that, could not make an analysis about capillaries and fibroblasts?
no, sir. What I'm saying is that I don't think it would have made it to the pathologist to be sectioned because it would have fallen apart because it didn't have any of that internal structure.
You're saying you couldn't actually.
Let me ask you this, sir. If it fell on the floor, how do you know that?
Right?
How you're moving as fast as you possibly can, getting this clot out. How long did you take to examine the clot? Did you
After
examine
it
the
fell
clot?
on the floor?
Did you get down on the floor to examine the clot? When did the examination of the clot happen?
Also, I feel like it would have, if it was just liquid with no form, it wouldn't have like fallen. It was just, like flowed.
It would be on his jacket. This doesn't make sense. I can excuse a surgeon. By the way, I can excuse a surgeon in the middle of a high stakes emergency operation for maybe not preserving a clot. I get it.
Yeah.
Like, you're trying to save this baby's life. You don't know where it
100%.
went. But like, how hard is it
100%.
to just say, yeah, it might have been able to be seen, but we were in the middle of trying to save this baby's life and I don't know where it went. And that happens. That happens.
and
It's
that-
not, It's not negligence. It's literally we are saving someone's life. We're trying anyway. So I wish we had been able to grab it for pathology, but no, we didn't. We don't know where it went.
I mean, and even if it is negligence, they're all covered by immunity anyways. So why does it matter?
Why not just be honest about it instead of saying, well, it wasn't going to make it to the lab? How do you know?
No.
How do you even know where? What do you mean it fell on the floor? Did you watch it fall to the floor? So you're
Did you hear like a splat? Like,
was there a squall sound or a squunch? What? Where? How do you know?
In whatever form, have taken it, put it in a bottle, labeled it, and sent it there. You're not saying that, are you? You could have done that.
Yes, we could have done that.
Oh, there it is.
2 hours.
2 hours to get to that one. We got to go back again. We have to go back and watch him do the chin thing.
Wow.
This is really, really something. It took him this long to get to this.
Current jelly solidified clot you described. Are you saying that from the point of view of a pathologist, right, that the pathologist, if the pathologist had that, could not make an analysis about capillaries and fibroblasts?
No, sir. What I'm saying is that I don't think it would have made it to the pathologist to be sectioned because it would have fallen apart because it didn't have any of that internal structure.
You're saying you couldn't actually, in whatever form, have taken it, put it in a bottle, labeled it, and sent it there. You're not saying that, are you? You could have done that.
Yes, we could have done that.
Oh,
all of that just to admit you've been lying the whole time.
Yeah, we could have done that.
Sir, we could have been here 2 hours ago.
That's all he asked. That's all he was asking was, could it have been done?
This is so bad for the witness. Because, like, there's a possibility that this guy didn't do anything wrong. But the way that he answered the questions, it makes him look like he was doing something wrong. Like he's hiding. Like he should have done this and he didn't. And he doesn't want you to know that when he could have just admitted it in the first place. Yeah, we could have. But we didn't have time. And it got lost. I don't think any reasonable person would be like, well, you MFers need to, that's terrible. And you're a bad person. Yeah, he's evasive as fuck. Actually, I think that's a really good place to end. And I want to get more into this because this whole show has been about one thing, that jelly clot. We finally got to the answer of whether or not it could have been sent to pathology, which of course the answer is yes.
Yes.
And I think we're done with this for today because it is 12:30. 2 hours have gone by. We've had 2 bingo cards.
Wow.
We've added new words to our vocabulary. And folks, we will be leaving you today. Next week, we will have a new intro for you. We're going to be working on a new intro for next week, just for this series, for the retro trial with me and Flux. So that's going to be fun. Make sure you're here for that. Next week, we're going to have to talk about timing, Flux, because I think I have doctor's appointments I have to take a kid to on at that time. But I can do it later in the day. Yes, I have a 10:30 appointment. But we can do it after that because I have nothing after that. So like 12, maybe we'll do it like around noon if you're good. We'll talk about it. So next week we're going to be a little different time. We'll try and do it again. We'll try to be on Flux's channel next week. We think we've fixed the Streamlabs problem, but we will make sure that we test it before we do that to you. So
yes. Also, I just want to say thank you to Something to Bark About who became a member. Guys, thank you so much. You know what that means. You have chosen greatness. Some choose greatness and some have greatness thrust upon them. But you have chosen greatness. And thank you so much for becoming a member. Yeah.
Awesome. And there it is. And I like your little avatar too. It's really cute. All right, folks. Remember, we love you. We care about you. We want you to be safe. So if you get pulled over by a cop, don't squall out. Just do what they say. Yeah. Just do what they say. And everything will be just fine. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your... Oh, let me check super tips real quick. I don't want to make sure I don't miss any. No, we're good there. We are good there. I got through all the super chats as well. Thanks to everybody. And we'll see you next week.